Hello and welcome back to another video. This is going to be a get ready with me. I'm going to use some new stuff to me, but definitely not new in the beauty community, which I feel is pretty exciting. I put some foundation and eyebrows on because I don't find that stuff interesting. I'm gonna do some bronzer and some blush and some highlight and some lippies and some eyeshadows. I'm gonna use these sticks again. Although I'm gonna use a powder highlighter over because maybe, I don't know how it's gonna look. I'm gonna use the Bronzer by Morphe. I really love this. I'm surprised I haven't hit pan on this. I think I will soon though because I've been really into this product. I wanted to chat a bit about I wouldn't say my past, that sounds like I'm making an apology video. That's not what this is. I want to talk a bit about what I did before in my life. I love this poster so much. I know I talked a bit about that I used to be a model, but I have been modeling for quite some years, but a professional model, like living on my modeling, I didn't do that for that long, like a year. A year when I was like, you know what, I'm only gonna do modeling for a year. The other time, like the rest, before I went to uni, I was working in the restaurant business. And I loved modeling. I had an agency and I did do quite some jobs, but I didn't do the catwalks or I wasn't in Vogue or anything like that. I was more of a freelance model, but I did have an agency that gave me some jobs. But the thing is, I'm pretty short model-wise. I don't know what this is in inches because we don't do inches, but I am 167, so 1 meter 67 centimeters. So I never walked any catwalks. I did mostly commercial work like ads and some printed ads and some TV commercials. I also done some magazines, but mostly like lingerie stuff. So I had a lot of fun as a model, but that's not the main thing that I did before I went to uni. When I went to, I guess what you would call senior high school. In Sweden, the whole school system is a bit different to US. But after elementary school, we go to something that we call gymnasiet, which is basically you get to choose what you want to do. And there are different kinds of these kinds of schools, and I decided to go to, or what I would say restaurant school or chef school, because I didn't know really what I wanted to do the rest of my life, but I knew I wanted to work with people or tourism for a while. So I decided to do that so that I could focus on that, because I just wanted to do something else. But I still, when I went to school, I read some subjects, you say subjects? I read some classes, maybe that's how you say it. I read some classes that, what do I want to use for this blush? Because what I've been drawing on my cheeks, it hasn't really been that good. Maybe I should find a brush. Maybe I'll use this brush. This is a cheek highlighter brush from Makeup Geek. Maybe I'll use some on the back of my hand, because that's what I've heard that other people did and then went in with it on their cheeks. So maybe I'll do that. That didn't do anything. Wait, I need more. Anyways, I read some classes that I knew I needed if I wanted to go to uni, because I knew I wanted to go to uni eventually. I just didn't really know what I wanted to read, so I didn't feel good going to, because there are senior high schools that you go to when you know you're going to uni straight away after, because it doesn't teach you a trade, it only teaches you things you need to go to uni. But I knew I didn't want to go to uni straight after, or college, or whatever you want to call it, straight after. In Sweden we call it uni, straight after high school. So, oh wait, what is this? Is this a fuzz? I have a fuzz here. So I decided that I was gonna work after I finished high school and then try to decide what kind of uni I wanted to go to. So I still read some classes, and I did after I finished senior high school as well. I read some classes that I knew I needed to be able to go to uni later, like math and some science classes, and you have to read more advanced English, and I read some history, stuff like that, because I knew I needed it. That's pretty, but it was it's an extra step. I don't know how I don't hate this product, but I don't love it. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I'm also going to use the highlighter. This is in Bullseye. But this one I know that I can use straight on my brush. So I worked in the restaurant business for quite some years. I finished... And I worked also when I went to uni. I also worked in the restaurant business. But I started working in the restaurant business when I was 16. First summer. I worked my first restaurant job. And I will say, when I was younger, I really loved working in the restaurant business. It was a long hours and a lot of work and really like tough work, but you made some really good friends. And I don't feel like I've ever had such a close relationship with my coworkers after like being in the restaurant business as I did then. It's like we're suffering together and you just become really close friends. So I really enjoy that, but it was super long hours, and even in Sweden restaurant you don't get a lot of pay. And sometimes you work so much and then the next month you work nothing. So you never know like if you're gonna get a good paycheck or not. You never know. It's so hard, and you never get like vacation and stuff like that. And I realized that in most countries you don't, but in Sweden everyone does, but not when you don't have like a steady job. And in the restaurant business you basically never will get a steady job. So for me it was after a couple of years, or I would say like I always knew I was going to university, but after a couple of years I realized that I am ready to start thinking about what kind of university I wanted to go to. First I wanted to be, this is pretty, I'm gonna put the Psychedelic Doll by Makeup Geek over on the cheekbones because this is like a beautiful peach. You can't see it here, but it has a peach shift, super pretty. But I always knew that I wanted to go to university, but I'm happy, like some people, when I finished university and when I got the job that I have now, because I have a pretty, oh that is so brightening, maybe even too much. I have a steady, like what we call a steady job in Sweden. Like I get the same paycheck every month, I work the same hours every month, I get vacation and benefits and all of that, like the stuff I didn't have in when I worked the restaurant business. And people like ask me, are you upset that you didn't go to university straight away and got this kind of job straight away? And that's what I wanted to say. I'm not. I'm so happy. I really am. I'm so happy that I got to experience how it is to work in a really like stressful, hard, low paying, unsecure job, because I feel like I can truly appreciate the kind of job that I have right now, because I have seen what a shitty job looks like. And I know that there are restaurant jobs that are better than the ones that I had, but I was young and then you don't really get good restaurant jobs. I make a lot more money right now, and also of course I'm paying off some loans now, because even though we don't pay for school, you do take student loans to be able to afford, because nobody lives at home really in Sweden. Or maybe they do. That is rude to say, but most people I know move away from home when they're 18 and live on their own when they're in university, and then you can take a student loan to pay your rent and stuff, so you don't have to work and go to the university, so you can like focus on school. I love this. Is like apple pineapple juice. So good. So these are like the new old stuff I wanted to use. I bought the Melt blueprint stack. I think I talked about this in my... I'm gonna film, yeah, I'll film this after this. I'm gonna talk about why I bought the blueprint stack and why I bought It's My Pleasure palette. These are both old things, and they're probably not the best to be like featuring on a pretty review-based channel. Wait, I have to move a bit. But I wanted to buy these. They were on my wish list and I wanted to buy them, and I'm gonna use them together, I think, in this look. I'm gonna do a purple crease, and then I'm gonna deepen it up with some of the blues, like the dark blue here and then the light blue. So I'm gonna do a blue and purple look. Shocker, I know. But I'm gonna start with the kittenfish, the one here, and then I'm gonna deepen it up with the sleeper, or maybe even fanfiction and sleeper. I'll use all the mattes in this palette basically. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, getting the job and people asking me whether or not I thought that like I wish that I did this in the beginning, and I don't. I'm so happy that I got to experience like you know, being stressed about money, because I surely was. Some months I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to pay the rent. Some months after I pay the rent, I had like $20 left in my name, and I was like, this is, can you tell us how annoying it is that 2 nails don't have nail polish on? And I had like $20 in my name, and I had to buy food for that for like a month. And in Sweden you do get some, like, you get tips, but not really that much, because Sweden is not really a country where you get a lot of tips, and still you don't really make much money in the restaurant business, so it's kind of stressful, to be honest. Especially in months when you don't get that many hours at your work, and you still have to, like, you don't have to pay the same rent even though you don't get that much money. But I'm happy that I've experienced that, and I'm happy I've experienced like stress, because I worked in really stressy restaurants with a lot of guests. And because nowadays at my work, because my work isn't stressy, I mean, it can be like stressful in a like a mind way, that is a lot of things to do and some decisions that can be a bit stressful to make, but it's not stressy in the same way that working in like the restaurant business or other more like labor heavy jobs can be, with a lot of pressure. And sometimes I hear my coworkers being like, oh, there's so much going on, I'm so stressed, and I'm like, are you really? And I don't want to look down on anyone, but I see a lot of people that went straight from high school to university and started working at a pretty non-stressful situation as the one that I'm in right now, and they don't really know how it's like to have that kind of a job, like the restaurant business or the building business, or working as a like a cleaning or anything like that. Like it's a different world, and I'm so excited that I got to experience that as well. I feel like I understand so many more things, and I understand the struggles that can be for some people just having to experience that, because sometimes it was really hard, like making ends meet. I had to sell stuff to be able to buy food, and I'm not saying this so that people be like, oh, you had a rough life. Like, not really. Like, in comparison to most people, I've had a pretty non-stressful life. There's been some incidents, of course, in my life that hasn't been ideal, but overall, I'm not gonna complain. I've taken my way, like, I made my way through all of it, and I am pretty happy at where I am at right now in my life. So there's no need to feel like sorry for me or anything like that. That's definitely, nobody needs to feel sorry for me. This is pretty. I love how berry this is. I know that people wanted it to be more purple. I don't think that this is a pink palette, but I know that a lot of people wanted it to be more of a cool tone purple palette, but this is more wearable, and I think that's why Colourpop did it, because this is more wearable when it leans a bit more berry, because a cool tone purple can make you look a bit bruisey if you're not like super confident with colors or with makeup applications. I think it's like smart of them to make it like this. It's more user-friendly. That is really pretty. Maybe I'll skip the last color, or should I? You know what, I'll use the last color and then I'll go straight into the blue. And I'm also like very lucky, and we're very blessed to be living in a country like Sweden where education is free, so that whenever I felt ready to go to uni, and I went to uni pretty late, and I'm happy I did, because I feel like I had the maturity and the confidence and the calmness, because I used to be fun to be around, but I was a bit crazy when I was younger. And I'm happy that I went to uni when I wasn't like 19, because I don't know if I would have made the best choices then. But I'm happy that I live in a country, this is beautiful, that I live in a country like Sweden where I can make that choice, and I don't have to pay like tuition fees that are like tens of thousands of dollars, because the money that I owe to the state is money that I got in like, as like money to survive, to pay the rent, to buy like groceries. And it's so weird that I almost had more money when I was studying than before that I was working in the restaurant business, and that is so weird. But it also says how broken the restaurant business is, not only in Sweden but in like most countries, let's be honest. So I do hope that people sometimes don't understand why things are like affordable in the restaurant business, and it's because nobody's really getting proper pay. And if the salaries were better in the restaurant business, things would cost a lot more, and people aren't prepared to pay for that. So that's why people like get shitty pay in the restaurant business, and I feel like it's a shame. It really is. This is a beautiful crease, and I feel like I could go in with any of these shimmers over this crease and it'd be so beautiful. But now I'm gonna close this for a bit and I'm gonna go into the blueprint stack. I want to use pretty much all of these blues, especially this light one here, but I also want to use these darker ones. I'm gonna start with the darker ones. These are the Dim Out, which is the matte, and King Stud, which is the shimmer. So I'm gonna start with these two. Oh, the stack also has some other colors, more neutral ones. This peach one looks really, really pretty. And then these more neutral ones. I'm not all about the neutrals, but at least there's only 4, and I feel like a brown and a blue together are pretty nice. So I'm not ecstatic, but I'm also not hating it. I'm gonna start with the matte blue. I've been wanting this stack for so long. Oof, I'm so excited. That is stunning. I'm so happy about this. There is some fallout though, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I need to take less on my brush. Ooh, and it also stuck a bit. No! I always do my eyes last because normally I don't have a problem with fallout like sticking, but I'm gonna put some extra powder and hopefully I can see the shadow of the blue here. That is not ideal. I need to put less on the brush. I think that's pretty okay. I'm gonna use the shimmery blue now and I'm gonna spray it because don't need any more fallout. I'm just gonna put that. Oh my god, that is so pretty. I don't even know what to do with myself. Oh, I'm gonna put that on half the lid. Wow. Are you kidding me? That is so beautiful. And so much more pigment than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be bad, but this is wow. I didn't spray on the other side, and you can see that it's a bit of fallout. Okay, now I want to do the lighter blue. I think I'm gonna try a bit of this Deadbolt, which is the darker of these two, and I'm gonna use a bit of that just a bit over, I guess, or maybe like the inner third or something, and I'm gonna take the lightest one. Oh, it's too much. Oh, in the inner corners. Let's see how this is. That is beautiful as well. I haven't used that much of the melt like shimmers, not as much as I've used the mattes. What do I want to do on my under eyes? Maybe I'll use some of the blues and purples together. So maybe I'll use some of the matte purples under my eyes and then a bit of the matte blue. I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, that turned out really pretty. I'm gonna use a pencil brush. I'll just use this. This is Sephora brand pencil brush. I really like this. It's a bit stubbier and like softer and more rounded. I feel like that really works when I really want to have a lot of color in my inner corners. Now I'm gonna use this like turquoisey. It seems to be a bit like iridescent bluish turquoise. I'm gonna like wrap my inner corners with this shade. I'm so excited. I swatched this when I was in Sephora and I was like like that, like I am right now. I am probably gonna use way too much of this, but yeah, sue me. I'm finishing up this look and I see my battery is like blinking, so I'm gonna do some like, I don't know, I'll finish up the eye look and I'll be right back and we can talk about like my current situation compared to how I used to have it. Sounds like I was going through that much of a rough time. It wasn't that hard. I mean, I'm here, I'm living, I'm thriving. Okay, so I I even took down my hair. I still have a bit of volume left in it from yesterday. Yesterday was when I had a bit of a curl in my hair. So this is what it looks like. I put some mascara on and some lashes. I am wearing the Gorgeous Lashes by Makeup Store. I'm gonna use Prance. It's my favorite. I still love Prance. I don't think I'm ever gonna grow tired of this. It's probably my favorite ColourPop product ever. I also want to do like a pink lip. So I brought out the lip liner. I think this is Sand Pink by NYX, and this is the GR Cosmetics Berry Smoothie, right? No, this is Vintage Rose. I thought this was gonna... Let me put those on and then we can finish up the talking portion. Okay, so that is the finished look. I think everything is done. Feeling pretty glamorous. I really love these items. I'm so happy I bought them, even though they're not brand new. They're brand new to me, but I mean, not in the community. Like, no one's asking me to do looks with these palettes, but here I am. This is what we got. If you're looking for any details about what I used, it's going to be down in the description box. What I wanted to mention is that it's not that I think that I am like particularly blessed right now for the work that I have, although I am very happy that I have the job that I have, like a 7 to 4 job with a steady paycheck. It's not that I feel like I was cursed having the job that I had before either, because most of the time I really love my job. I love my coworkers. I love being up on my feet working, and that's something I miss with my work right now. But I also didn't make a lot of money, not a lot of money at all, to be honest, and also was really hard on my back because I've been having some back problems. Basically, I have like problems with my joints. I don't really know the proper term, but it did cause me some back problems. So for that, I am grateful that I'm not always on my feet. But I feel like I learned so much from like working, and now when I have to do like overtime, because sometimes you need to do some overtime even when you work in an office, I get some people that like, oh my god, you had to do an hour overtime, that must have been so annoying coming home late. And I was like, I did a 23-hour shift once in a restaurant, like working an extra hour until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not really stressful. And also, like right now, like we don't own this home, we rent because we are moving in about a year, so we didn't want to buy anything because we knew that we weren't staying in Linköping for forever. So we're renting this place. We don't have, and we have a pretty shitty car. You won't be seeing me doing my makeup in my Tesla. That's not, because we have a pretty shitty car and we don't own our home, we don't have any kids, we don't have any loans, and we both have a pretty steady paycheck, although my fiance is a PhD student, so his paycheck isn't really that fun, and that will change hopefully when he becomes a doctor. But the thing is that I have a lot of money left now when I have paid my rent and when I have paid my phone and my bills and all of that, because that's how I do my economy. When I get my paycheck, I pay all my bills the same day as I get my paycheck, and then whatever's left, I try to save as much as possible from that, and then what's left I can have fun with. Like, I buy stuff, or I do stuff, or I travel, or stuff like that. I have several different saving accounts for like when I want to travel, when I want to buy something fancy, you know, stuff like that. And I feel like coming from a place where some months I had no money left to do anything with for months and months, like I feel so, I don't know, I can really appreciate nowadays having money left, because I know that I worked really hard for several years to be able to get where I'm at right now, and I went to uni for 3 years and got a bachelor's to be able to have the job I have right now. And I feel like it didn't just land in my lap. Not saying that people that get fortunate and have things land in the lap, not saying that they don't appreciate it or that they are not worthy of it. I'm just saying that I don't know if I would have appreciated it or if I would have been worthy of it if I didn't have to work for it, because I haven't always been this like calm and mature and adult, even though I don't feel like I'm an adult all the time either. But I think for me, it was good going through that, and it was good that I did those couple of years. In Sweden we call it doing like dog work, which is a weird term, but it basically means doing like harder work, not getting so much pay, like doing the tough years. Do we call it dog years maybe even? Now that I think of it, if you're Swedish, let me know. Do we call it dog work or dog years? I'm not really sure, but I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at right now, and I'm happy at wherever I'm gonna end up in the future, because I know that I'm not the kind of person that can have one job until I retire. I've proven that once and once again, and once and once again, again and again. Sorry, again, Swedish, messing it up. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. And if you are right now working in like the restaurant industry and maybe you want to leave, just know that there are always possibilities for you to grow and to go further from that if you want to. But also there are times when I miss the restaurant business because it was so much fun and all the coworkers I had, and sure, I didn't make a lot of money, but to be fair, if I'd stayed in the industry and maybe if I had like become a manager or something like that, at least in Sweden I would have made better money. I never had the ambition to make a career within the restaurant business because I always knew that I was leaving. But if I knew that I was staying, I probably would have made a bigger effort to try and make like a career out of it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. I hope that this video, always when I talk about stuff like this, I'm always afraid that people are gonna be like, oh my god, here she is thinking she knows it. I don't know shit, okay? All I know are the things that I've gone through, but I'm happy to read about the things that you've gone through because I think we can all learn from each other. This is me sharing my story. Let me know about yours down in the comments, and yeah, I think that was everything. I will see you in my next video, which is going to be either tomorrow or the day of tomorrow. That's how it is here. Bye!